Hey, what's going on, creatives? Let's talk about logos and brand identity in ChatGPT because we know that ChatGPT is now kind of like our junior graphic design assistant and does really well. But I wanted to really see about building out a logo and using that logo in stock elements. And so, start off real easy. I just said I want the DNA of a car company logo. There's a reason why I'm using the DNA of a logo. When you say you want the DNA of something, we're looking at the atoms. And that's what we're trying to do when we say the DNA of a logo. And so when I asked for that, it gave me the shape language, the typography, the iconography, the color palette, primary colors, accent colors, and the finish. And it gave me a brand feel: tech forward, long range freedom, sustainable adventures. I like all of these, but not what I'm trying to deal with right now. So I get in and I just say, okay, now generate a mood board of image for this brand. We've given it no directions, we've given it no personas. So it doesn't really know what I'm looking for yet, but this is what it came up with, and it's unusable. It's trash, but we didn't give it a direction. We haven't built this out. But then we just say, okay, let's kind of look at what other competitors are doing and what's the DNA of these logos. And so we come back and it kind of gives us an example of what the competitors are doing. So this is kind of what everyone else is doing. And then we refine the logo DNA. We get the color update: dynamic, premium, futuristic. The logo symbol enhancements. Think bold, stylized V. So it's stuck on V for some reason. And typography. Think lucid precision or balance of rugged and sleek. So we kind of given it an idea, but then it comes back with a second version, and okay, kind of better, not really. And so now we're gonna move forward. Now we have to start putting in some direction here. Typically, this is when we would have our personas and we would have our tagline, and we would really tell ChatGPT what this company is really about in order to create that logo. But we don't have all of that, so we're just going to kind of mosey through and say, okay, how do I come up with a name for this company? And I basically said, Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars lore without infringing on IP. Again, I'm being very precise here because I wanted to think about, space and future and all of that. So now it came up with some names, and I didn't particularly like any of these names, but it prompted me, and I'm glad it did because it gave me edgy, elegant, Nordic, minimalist, rugged, etc. And my thinking of it is tech, is travel. So I came with edgy again and come up with some more names. And again, the V, for some reason, is stuck on V and S's. So we go through. I don't like any of these, but this one stood out. Next era. This makes sense. When I think about the tagline and the 800 miles is for techie and for travel, and now you can go long range, sustainable, adventure. This is the next era of hybrids. It kind of fits. I like it. And so we have it here. And we have to get this visual identity. So we're going through it. So the logo direction, strong geometric, logo mark, V or X. I don't know why it's stuck on V. We have the color palette. Okay, so it's saying cyber blue, lava orange are the highlights. I decided to go with lava orange with the finish of metallic. So we have something to work with. But I have a look and feel that I was wanting, because I want the dark to really contrast with the light and this carbon fiber texture. So I went out and found an image, and I like this feel. So got that carbon fiber texture with the bright lava orange. Now we have a final brand direction. And so working our way through this process allowed us to get here. And it's telling me that it wants to work with the N, the XR, or the X and the A or something like that. But I want the N and the X because I want to focus on next. And so that to me was the better approach, was to focus on the N and the X. We have a logo concept now. Finally, when we get ready to generate the image, we get this. I like this one for a lot of reasons because I can see the N, I can actually see the X, and it really stands out when I see the name. And I love this carbon fiber background. This is everything I wanted. Okay, now let's take a look what we did. We started here. We started here and we worked our way to here. So that's the point of this exercise, is to show you that we're going to work our way through this process. And now what we need to do is take this logo, and it has to show up in all of the images going forward. Any brand will tell you they are very specific and they are very protective of the logo. And so it has to show up like this. So now we have it, and I had to go look at one more, and this is not bad. I didn't think this was bad, but I like the other one better. The first shot is, can we get this logo in an image? Because as we've seen with a lot of things, all you have to do is just tell ChatGPT going forward, because it's a chat, it should be able to take this logo that we've created and put it anywhere. Okay, but when I have it to put it on the car, one, it put it on the side of the car. I didn't like that. Two, it made it orange. Well, three is too big. And the other one, this is not the logo. It's close, but it's not the logo. Right? So I didn't like that, and I said so. I just like, this is not the same logo, and it's too large with a charcoal car. The emblem should be chrome or tungsten. And so we know it's short on the front hood of the car, but it's still not the logo. Now it's close to this one, but it's not our logo. Okay, so we have to do one more step. We know that the prompt that ChatGPT generated to create this logo is not enough to recreate the logo if we were to give it that same prompt. So this is what I did. I gave it the emblem, and I said, let's go through every detail of the emblem, so when you recreate it, you create it with precision. So we've been using some terminology here: DNA, precision. Okay, and that's because we're dealing with a logo. You're dealing with a logo. We have to use this terminology. So it went through and it gave me every single thing about this, the overall structure. It went element by element. The left stroke of the N. You can see it gave me everything. It even gave me the 45-degree lean. That's how specific it was. Okay. We have the center shared N and X stroke. The lower right diagonal X and the upper right diagonal X. We have everything about this logo right here. So now, when we look at this, you can see now that I'm telling it, okay, based on the following, generate the emblem. And here's the logo. So it now knows how to recreate the logo. So now when I tell it to put it on the car, it can put it on the car, although it's too big, but we can work with that. If I give it a reference image and I said, okay, put the logo on this car, and you can see I'm telling it, I'm putting the logo on the car and I'm giving it the DNA report. It recreates the emblem. If I want to put it in an office, so I put it in an office, and again, I'm telling with the logo and name of the car brand, here's the logo. I paste all of that in, and we're able to get our logo and text in. Okay. This is what you have to do when working with logos inside of ChatGPT. And simply because logos are designed in a way that you need all of those elements, take your logo, ask for the DNA of that logo. Be very specific in that. I say you want to recreate it with precision. You do that, and now you're able to then work with ChatGPT, generate the images every single time in every image. And you can do this with maybe characters. If there's some specific things about characters that you need, it may be a watch on a character that you want. It may be a necklace. It may be a specific car or some element that you need to create all the time in your images, and you want to be very specific. Get the DNA of that particular element and then use that inside of your prompts whenever you want the image. All right. So this is the first step, because we're going to work on some other things with branding, but this is one thing I wanted to kind of work with you guys and show you how to do this. All right. That's it for me. I am out. Peace.